Annual Absolutely Accessible Kent Technical Workshops return to West Michigan in just 2 weeks.
Joining us now to talk about this huge event is Disability Advocates Executive Director Dave Bulkowski. Thank you so much for waking up early with us.
Well, thanks for having me.
We are glad to have you. Tell us more about the message behind this event.
Well, the main message is that when it comes to accessible building codes, and especially the Americans with Disabilities Act, what we like to say is the ADA is the worst you can legally do. The ADA is the floor, not the ceiling. And so again, how can we continue to push the bounds of design to have the most inclusive spaces possible, as well as events possible?
So you're saying meeting the requirements of the American Disabilities Act,
Yep.
That's just the surface level, that's just the
Barely.
base of
Yep.
where you want to go.
Exactly, because for example, one of our breakouts this year is we have 2 architects coming from New York City to talk about design and the inclusion of people with neurodiversity. And the ADA says absolutely nothing about neurodiversity.
Oh.
And so you see a lot with movies and shows. It says there's going to be flashing lights. So that those kinds of things can impact folks' disabilities. The ADA says nothing about that as an example. And there's tons of ways, again, we use that as a floor or foundation and build on it.
Dave, tell us more about some of the workshops that people will be able to attend.
Sure, I mentioned that one. We call that one our architectural track. And then on the urban planning track, we have a couple of researchers from Nova Scotia, which gives us our international credibility this year. And so they're going to talk about, again, how are we designing the outside world, and especially a big focus on aging in place. As our state and our community continues to age, will we be as inclusive as possible for folks, again, with all abilities, all ages? And then our keynote speaker, her name is Betty Siegel. She's coming to us. She leads accessibility at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. And again, one of the national experts on inclusion of performing spaces, but also what happens on stage.
All right, excellent. And I know you mentioned, Dave, that there's still room. If people are hearing about this and want to be a part of it, they can still take part.
Absolutely. We are excited about getting a sellout this year in the sense of great response with sponsors and participants. However, if you're a student, a person with a disability, limited income, don't hesitate to ask for a scholarship. We're going to make room as best we can because we need you to learn about this and be part of the solution, as opposed to staying away for a bad reason, like you don't have enough resources.
Excellent, excellent. Well, the Absolutely Accessible Kent Technical Workshops will be May 8th from 10 until 1:30. You can purchase a ticket for the keynote address or the entire day. We'll have more information at 13onyourside.com. Dave, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.